In this video, we will be seeing what is the importance of quantity surveying and what are the various types of estimate. So, why do we need to do estimate? For any engineering building or for any engineering work, we should know the probable cost of construction, that is the estimated cost beforehand, so that we can manage the various works that are related to that. So, the owner or the builder should have a thorough knowledge about the volume of work that needs to be completed, and they should also know what is the fund available, and they have to act accordingly. Also, for any public construction works, an estimate have to be prepared beforehand so that they can get sanction for the proposed work. Now, an estimate for any construction work may be defined as the process of calculating the quantities and cost of various items required in connection with the work. So, basically we need to calculate the quantity, we need to know the rate, and thus we will calculate the total cost of the work. And how can we prepare this? We can prepare this from the drawings. So, from the drawings, dimensions will be available, and using those dimensions we can calculate the required quantity, and when we multiply it with the unit cost of that particular quantity, we will get the total cost pertaining to that project. Now, what all comes under construction cost? So, essentially, since we have material, we need to know the cost of the material. Now, these materials will be procured from another location, so there will be transportation cost. Then there will be laborers involved, so cost of labor, and then there will be tools and machineries, scaffolding, and establishment and supervision charges, which means if it is an apartment building, we may have to actually set up a site office there and work accordingly. So there will be a supervisor or a site in charge who will be managing these things, so their salary, everything will have to be included within the construction cost. And then in the site office, they might be using various stationaries for this purpose, so all these charges will be there. Then there will be cost of water, usually taken as 1%, and then there will be additional taxes, and in addition to all this, there should be some profit for the contractor who is doing the job. So there should an additional amount is added for the reasonable profit, and thus the total construction cost is calculated. Now, so this gives us the estimated cost. Now, how accurately we can have an estimate? Accuracy means after completing the project, when we calculate the actual cost, how comparable it will be with the estimated cost. So that accuracy depends on the how carefully we have taken the dimensions from the drawings. So the drawing should be very good and easily understandable, so that we can take the correct dimensions, and the method on which based on which we are estimating. Then the various rates that are considered, that is, if we have considered the correct rate for that particular material. Okay, so certain times it occurs that suppose we are using a 12 plaster, but we are only taking rate in accordance with an 10 plaster, the value will be different. Also there is an inflammation rate, right? So maybe after 10 year 5 year sorry, if we are estimating now, and if the construction is carried out after 2 years, there may be some inflammation in the rate. So all these things need to be taken care of. Then there may be some probable expenses which, or we may require some unforeseen works or laborers, we may require extra laborers, so some extra should be there. And then we have to consider the wastages also. For a typical example is the usage of steel. When we calculate the quantity of steel, we usually calculate it as in kilogram. So basically weight of the steel. Then what happens is, so there may be some wastages in the steel when we put it in the bending. So after we cut the steel according to our requirement, there may be some wastages. So we have to account for those wastages also. And above all, it depends upon actually the skill and the experience of the estimator. If our estimator is very skilled or experienced, maybe we can have a good estimation. Now, the basic purpose of estimating are to ascertain that the required amount of money is available, or if it is not available, they can make some arrangements. Okay. So we need to know what is the probable cost. Then we need to know what are the materials that are required so that we can procure it at the correct time. Then to understand the number of different categories of workers that are to be employed. So there are different kinds of workers like masons, carpenter, etc. So we need to know what kind of worker is required. Then also we need to know what are the different plans or tools required so as to finish the work within the scheduled time. For example, batching plant, etc. Then also we need to fix the completion period. So based on all of these things, we can fix the completion period based on which we can we can come up with a construction schedule. Okay, so that we can finish everything within that stipulated time. Now we need to know a rough estimate or a probable estimate so that we can invite tenders. Okay, and prepare bills. So tenders, to invite tenders means before the construction, prepare bill means after the construction. So if it is a public work after the construction or after carrying out a particular set of items, the contractor will be preparing a bill and forwarding it for payment. So we will have to check it against our estimated cost and we will be providing the payment. So for that also we require this estimation, and also we need to know a rough estimate so that we can have the valuation of the building. That is, to calculate the value of the building we need to have an estimate. Now what is actual cost of construction? Actual cost of construction is calculated from the physical measurements or the kind of works that are carried out from the site. And then we can have the actual rate at the time of the execution of the work. When these two are multiplied, we will get the actual cost of estimation. So if we have had a good estimate, this actual cost of estimation and the estimated cost, the difference between these two will be very minimum. Okay. Very minimum doesn't mean that it is 10k or 20k. Okay. So suppose it is a 50 lakh project. So the estimated cost is 50 lakh and the actual cost comes to 52 lakhs, then actually it is kind of okay. Okay. Now, so what exactly is estimate? Estimate is the calculation of various items of an engineering work so as to know its approximate cost and the quantities of various materials required along with the labor involved for a satisfactory conclusion. So all these things will be included in an estimate, that is its approximate cost, the quantity and also the labor. Okay, so the computation involved in arriving this above detail, it is known as estimating. That is the process of finding an estimate is known as estimating, and we are actually finding out estimate by theoretical measurements because we don't have any structure there yet. So we will be having plans or drawings, and from that we will be calculating the quantities and we will be knowing the current rate of materials and labor, and using these three we will be coming or we will getting the estimate. Now there are different types of estimate. It is broadly classified into preliminary estimate and detailed estimate. Okay, and also there are other types of estimates, so we will be seeing these in detail. So preliminary estimate, so basically the objective of preliminary estimate is to find the approximate amount of expenditure. Okay, a rough estimate is required. So for this we don't require a detailed drawing with all the dimensions, but we need to have a rough drawing. Okay, which tells us, say, the plinth area, or something like that. Okay, the first method is plinth area method or the plinth area estimate. So from the name itself you can guess that we will be knowing the plinth area of the particular building, and maybe we will be having a similar type of building somewhere else, that is in a similar locality or using the similar materials. So specifications should be similar. So if we have a building like that, we will be knowing the per square feet rate for that particular building. Then we can find out the rate of our building. So this is the most common method. So we will find out the rate for our building based on a similar building with similar specification. Now the second one is cubic content method or the cubic rate method. So in the plinth area method we are actually taking the area. In the cubic content method we are actually taking the volume. So height is not considered in plinth area method. Here we will also take height. So cubic content rate will be there. So we will be multiplying the total volume with the cubic content rate and we will get the total value. So this is mainly used for public buildings like public halls, cinema halls, library buildings, etc. It is not accurate for residential building but more accurate for non-residential buildings. Okay, and compared to the plinth area estimate, this value will be lower. Okay, now another type is Bay method. Bay method means you might be knowing base. So if it is a plan, say, so this is a plan. This all the junctions you have columns and here you have beams, and suppose these spans are same, say 5 meter, 5 meter and 5 meter. We can call this as one bay. This is second bay and this is third bay. So this method is usually used in industrial buildings. So in certain cases you might have seen workshops like this. So this will be extending like this. Okay. So this is known as a bay. So if we can find out the value for one particular bay, how will you calculate the total value? One bay into number of bays, right? So that is bay method. Then we have approximate quantity method estimate method. So here we will this is usually done to work out, what do we say, loan. Here also actually we will be taking an approximate quantity that is there, not the exact quantity. Then number of unit estimates. This is usually done in buildings which are mainly in blocks. For example, school blocks, hospital blocks, etc. This is basically prepared for plan purposes such as schools, colleges, hospitals, etc. So here we will actually find out the expenditure for one particular unit, for example a block, and we will be multiplying it with the rest of the numbers so that we will have a general idea. Okay, so that is all about preliminary estimate. Now detailed estimate means from the name itself you can understand that we are finding out the values in detail or the quantities in detail. So for this we require a detailed drawing, and this is the most accurate estimate. So detailed drawing, specification, etc. are required for this. So we in this we will be actually dividing work into different items of work like earthwork, concrete work, brickwork, etc. And we will be calculating quantities of each of these, and we will be knowing the rate, and using that rate we will be calculating the value. Okay, so this is a typical measurement form. So there will be item described, for example earthwork, and number will be there if it is a numbering kind of thing, and then length, breadth, height. So we will be inputting our values based on the dimensions that we have. So sometimes we will be requiring volume, sometimes we will be requiring area, etc. And based on that we can calculate the quantity and we will find out the total, and then we will have remarks. So we will be getting the quantities, and if we multiply these quantities with the respective rate, will this is done in a different sheet. Okay, and so we will get the total cost. Now to this total cost we actually add 3 to 5% for contingencies, that is some emergencies for unseen expenditure, change of rate or design, etc. And 1.5 to 2% is added as work charge establishment. Okay, current guideline we are taking everything to be 15%. That is all the expenditures, extra expenditures included, we'll simply put it as 15% of the total cost is taken as. Now this is an abstract of the estimate form. So here we'll be having detail of work, for example earthwork, and the quantity that we got from the previous sheet, unit, the rate of 1 unit, we will be multiplying the quantity with the rate and we will get the total amount, and then so adding up these values we will get the total value. So there are various methods in detailed estimate: long wall, short wall method, center line method, and crossing method. We will be mainly utilizing these two methods. So it is not necessary that you have to do it in a particular manner. You can work out in either of these two methods. Okay. Crossing method is not so common, so we will not be discussing much about it in our course. Now, in addition to these estimates, there are other type of estimates like revised estimate. Revised estimate means sometimes what happens is we might have sanctioned a particular amount, but it might not be enough. Okay, so the expenditure may be greater, so we need to prepare a revised estimate so that we can get administrative sanction. So this is mainly because there was some change in the original proposal. Okay. Then there is supplementary estimate. Supplementary estimate means we are actually adding something extra to the building plan which was not there in original. Okay. So if we are adding something for the betterment and development of the project, that is calculated separately as supplementary estimate submitted. So an estimate for the additional item works is prepared and the amount is worked out, and for that particular item we are getting a different sanction. Then the annual repair and maintenance estimate. So you might know that all the buildings require yearly maintenance for certain things. As you might be aware, buildings require extra maintenance, yearly maintenance. So this is applicable in case of buildings, roads, or any other assets. There may be items like whitewashing, color washing, painting, which we may have to do once in 5 years or 10 years or something like that, or there may be some sanitary works or water supply works, etc. Or in the case of roads, we may have to do some small patching, etc. So all these are annual repair and maintenance estimate. Now there is special repair estimate, that is when that amount of work to be done is more that is more than 5% of the cost, we may actually have to do it as a separate estimate. So that is why it is known as special repair estimate, because it is a repair but the cost is too high. We have to do it separately. For example, it will not come under annual repair. For example, maybe after long period of use, the flooring of the building may have to be changed. Earlier it was, say, mosaic, then you have to turn it to marble, etc. So in such a situation, we have to do a special repair estimate. So, or maybe there might be an opening of a new door, or we have to replaster the walls due to some particular reason, etc. In the case of roads, after some time you may have to scrap the old layer and we have to lay a new road. Okay, so all these come under special repair estimate. Then there is supplementary and revised estimate. So for the supplementary estimate, if we require revision, that is supplementary and revised estimate. Then there is addition and alteration estimate. So once the building is addition and alteration estimate. So once the building is there, we may and after some time we may think of doing something extra, like putting a door on the wall or adding an extra something. So that is addition and alteration. It will not be supplementary. Supplementary estimate is there when we are actually using do it during the work, when the construction is going on, but addition and alteration is after the work is being carried out.